Hello, friends, and welcome to CJoy Yoga with Crystal Joy Johnson inside Innovative Chiropractor Center, which also houses a yoga studio. And so this is a grand experiment. I'm hoping I can do some of the videos and maybe some classes from this space, especially with winter coming around. So please bear with me while I figure out my new digs. And otherwise, it's the same old, right? We're going to start with our beginning awareness. So as you sit in that upright posture, feel those buttocks bones rooting down to the earth. And, I will always encourage visualization, maybe visualizing that there is a trunk as wide as your torso going down, rooting you down into the earth, from which all of those extra little roots grow down and out to the side, much like a tree. And then on the other side of that, the crown of the head gently, so gently, floats up towards the sky. And you can think of that same tree and use that visualization, right? Those leaves, that trunk reaches up with the branches. And of course, the branches have the trees, and the trees love that sun directly above you at 12 o'clock. Let's add breath. Every time you inhale, imagine that you're inhaling into that space between those 2 points, the buttocks, bones, and the crown of the head. And every time you exhale, I want you to see if there's anywhere in your physical body you can soften. And still, every inhale, expanding the space between the 2 points. And now with your exhale, is there anything else you can soften? Maybe you woke up a little grumpy, or there's, something you're holding on to that's not serving you well. A thought, a pattern, a belief, an attitude. Whatever that might be for you. And take just a moment to remember your intention, why you showed up on the mat today. And then go ahead and open those eyes. And let's go ahead and we're going to start the next part of the practice, standing. So you can just move those props off to the side. I'm going to leave my blocks at the top end of my mat. We are going to do a couple of lunges, and I'll want those for a little bit of height on my arms. But otherwise, standing about shoulder distance with your feet. We're just going to get into some joints first. Well, along the whole way, but in little ways, and then we'll get bigger. So let your head just go ahead and circle. That can be big or small, right? It doesn't have to be the widest range of motion. We're just getting in there. You can leave the eyes open. You can close them. Take your time and be mindful, and go the other way. And then come on back to center, find that elongation again, and then turn your head right, back to center, and turn your head left. So it's like you're saying no, right? And again, don't worry about it being the biggest range of motion you ever had. Just let it be waking up these joints in the body. And when you feel complete, you'll come back to center and shake your head yes. And again, making that a range of motion without pain. And come on back to center. One more. Right ear, right shoulder, up to center, and left ear, left shoulder. And just let the body move in those 2 directions a few times. Good morning, neck. Oh, I love you so much, even though I might not have slept all that great with you last night. And come back to center. I have a crick from like 4 nights ago now, right? And then from there, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start to move our wrists around, and you might shake them a little bit or whatever that is for your body. You could just move them and glide them instead of shaking, right? And take those fingers and move those fingers around. And then pump those elbows. We know this, we do some of this stuff a decent amount, right? And then you're gonna leave your elbows, fingertips by your shoulders and let your elbows start to circle just to start to wake up our glenohumeral joint. And then go ahead and go the other way. Coming to neutral, you could keep doing that. That would be the gentler. If it's okay to bring your arms forward and go back, right? And you'll notice I'm not trying to go really high right next to my body or anything like that. Again, I'm just waking stuff up and then go the forward direction, like you're doing the butterfly, I guess it would be. And then we're gonna get a little funky with the mind. Y'all ready? You're gonna take your right arm and go forward. Forward, up and back. So I guess it would be the backward motion. And then you're gonna try to do the opposite with the other arm. And if it takes you a little bit, just keep at it and keep trying the best you can. And then switch and go the other direction. I'm gonna have to stop and start over because I missed my opportunity coming forward, up and back with the left hand, right? And if and when you're ready, you're gonna try to go the opposite way with the left in some capacity, right? And again, just keep trying at it and don't get frustrated and don't think you're not doing it right or your mind's all goofed up or anything like that. Go ahead and let that go. The only reason I can get these things halfway decent is because I practice them a lot. Okay, so hopefully we're feeling pretty awake. Go ahead and step those feet out just a little bit wider than hip distance. And let's just start to say hi to the pelvis like we've been doing lately with that water element, right? Just washing back and forth. Hello, hips. How you doing this morning, right? The other way, or today, maybe you're doing this at a different time than morning. And circling the other way. And again, we're gonna get funky with the figure eight. And if you can't find the figure eight, just move the hips in some fashion, kind of move them around and glide through them, right? And go the other way with figure eight, if that's for you. Then go ahead and you're going to bring your feet together, feet touching if it's available, different bodies, different things. Put your hands right above your knees and let your knees do circles. Now, my sensitive knee friends, it might be just be straightforward and up. If it feels okay to do a baby circle with a little bit of lateral, take that. And go the other way. Hello, good morning, knees. I love you. Come up to standing and separate your feet out a little bit and pick up, doesn't matter which one, pick up one foot. You could always use a wall here and circle that ankle. Go the other way. I guess you're circling the foot to get to the ankle, but hopefully that made sense. And bring that down and then switching it out, lifting the other. And again, moving that other foot around in a circle and going the other way. And then go ahead and bring that down. So now go ahead and step your feet out a little bit wider and you're going to turn your toes out just a little bit, right? This one goes like this. You're going to interlace your hands behind the head. When I'm here in this position for my inhales, I'll bring my elbows in and just kind of almost like I'm pulling my skull gently up, right? That's your inhales. And when you exhale, you're going to lift your palms up to the sky and lean one direction or the other. We'll lean right first. Inhale, neutral, right? Into that position and exhale, left. Add ujjayi breath if you can find it. Inhale, that slight restriction of the glottis muscle in the throat. The way I sometimes teach it, go ahead and keep doing the motion, right? Is if you were at a mirror trying to fog it up, right? And then we close our mouth on top of that. We try to do that on both the inhale and the exhale. But if that's elusive or just not there for you, it's okay. Release it, let it go. It's not a big deal. And let's do one more full set of that wherever you are in your breath, your breathing pattern. The next time you're behind the head, You're going to go ahead. Those toes are turned out a little bit, hopefully, right? And if you need to go wider or less wide, you're going to. But you're going to go ahead and you're going to start to bend the right knee and just kind of circle the upper body. You'll come forward and then go over to the left. The left knee bends a little bit. You'll come up. For some of us, that's plenty, right? I'll add one more piece in. So over to the right with the right knee bent a little bit. I come through center, I bend the left knee. Some of us, we might go into a little upper back bend and lean back a little bit when we come up. So just go ahead and circle the spine, the torso in this fashion. And then when you're up to center the next time, reverse it, which means you'll bend the left knee a little bit as you kind of bring the torso down past the left knee to center. You bend the right knee as you go over to the right. You might come straight up through center, or you might add that little bit of that upper back bend as you move back. Right? Really, whatever feels like it's going to be really beneficial for your body this morning. So complete the one you're working on, whatever that is. Bring those arms down, step those feet in. Pause for a moment and just notice. You might notice my breath got a little short. Not working a ton, but that was a little bit of work, right? Okay, so go ahead and step those feet out. And this time we're going to have the toes more in the parallel position, something like that. And this one goes like this. And by the way, you could have blocks underneath the hands if that's better for you. But otherwise, you're going to inhale the arms out to the sides. When you exhale, you're going to bend your right knee and bring your left hand down somewhere by that foot or on the foot. Look down as you stack your shoulders over top of each other. That's an inhale. When you exhale, you're going to turn and look up towards that right hand, all while pushing your outer left foot down. Inhale back to center. So I'm going to break the first one down real good, right? Exhale, I bend left knee, I place hand on or by the foot. I look down, I inhale and stack my shoulders the best I can. I exhale, I turn and look up towards left thumb, a little deeper into the twist, press the outer right foot down, and I inhale back to center. I'm going to try and say a little less, but that's it, right? Exhale, right knee bends, coming down. Inhale, looking down, stack shoulders. Exhale, look up, push outer left foot down. Inhale, tone belly in when you come up. Exhale, bend left knee, hand down. Look down, stack shoulders on the inhale. Ujjayi breath if you can manage. Exhale, turn, look up to thumb, outer right foot pushes down. Inhale, I'll try to say a little less every time. Exhale, right. The inhale stacks your shoulders. Exhale, up, look up, Inhale, tone belly to come up. Exhale, left knee bends. Inhale, stack shoulders. Exhale, look up. Inhale, come up. Try to do another one of those on your own timing. And when you complete your cycle, bring the hands down and you'll step towards that short edge of the mat, the front edge. And we'll meet there. We're gonna do 3 half salutations and then we'll add a lunge back, right? Let's start with our hands at our heart today, right? And inhale, reach those arms out and up. Maybe palms touch, maybe your shoulder distance, maybe you're wider. Exhale, fold, bend the knees and try to see if you can get your thighs to compress your abdomen a little bit. Reach the chest forward. That's not there for everybody, but the bodies that can find that. Exhale again. Today we're trying to see if we can just have a little compression. For me, that means I bend my knees, right? Inhale, arms reach out, come up, a little wider than shoulder distance, maybe palms touch and you look up. Exhale, hands to heart where we started. So something like that. Inhale, and if it's not exact and it's not precise or it's not perfect or whatever those things are, let go. If you feel good in your body, becoming embodied and just being aware of your body, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. About one more. I don't know where you are with your breath. When your hands come in front of your heart, pause and just notice what there is to notice. We're going to use that half salutation to get down into the forward fold, and then we'll step a foot back. Inhale. So it starts off the same exact way. Exhale. Right here. Inhale halfway up. Bring those blocks in if you want them, and step your left foot back. We're going to bring both hands inside, and I'm going to walk my right foot a little wide because that feels better in my hip girdle. And then go ahead and circle the hips in any fashion, right? Don't worry too much about like, oh, what it looks like. Just again, feel the hips getting that mobility. And go ahead and go the other way. And again, the choices, the options here would be hands on blocks. That's what I prefer personally. And that left knee could be down if it feels like it's too much to hold yourself here. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to walk the right foot in if it was wide, one block on either side. You're going to go ahead and step your left foot forward and step your right foot directly back to the lunge. Again, both blocks inside left foot. Left foot has the option of walking a little to the left if you want to, a little, a lot, whatever that is, and then circle the hips. You can put the right knee down on the ground. You can be up on blocks or not. The left foot can be a little wider. So really, really make this your, your practice, right? Go ahead and go the other way. Nobody knows your body as well as you do if you really tune in and listen and trust the messages you're getting, right? And then go ahead and walk the left foot back over in the center. Step the right foot forward. Inhale, reach the chest forward, lengthen. Move the blocks if you're working with blocks. Friends, I'm going to move mine both one side just so you can see my body better. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. So we're going to add a little bit of fire. So come into plank. The knees can come down behind you. That would be totally fine. If you want to work with the legs, I want you to make sure you're pushing down into all parts of the hand, including the fingers, right? Don't just sit in the wrist base. Elbows, they try to roll forward a little bit, right? The eye of the elbow. And then see if you can work your thighs so much that it feels like it's your legs holding you up more than it is your arms. Take one more breath. We're almost there. And then bring the knees down. Go ahead and move the hips back towards a child's pose, but keep your toes curled under. And inhale forward, half plank. Now we're going to circle. So let your hips move to the left, to center, to the right, forward. It's almost like a modified push-up. Yeah. When you're forward, again, switch and go the other direction. Hips to the right, back towards the heels, to the left and forward. If you need to uncurl your toes, you're dealing with plantar fasciitis or pain, please do. If you can keep them curled under, please do, right? And then the next time you're back, you're going to try to sit back, if you can, in Vajrasana, right? For some of us, that looks with like the hips are pretty high and we're further forward. First stage would be hips down and you still take the weight forward. Second stage would be coming up and trying to get the body parallel to an imaginary wall in front of you, right? And then go ahead and uncurl your toes. I come forward for that. Point the big toes straight back, hug the outer ankles in and try to sit down. For some of you, this is way harder than the other one, right? We kind of all have one side of the foot that works with us with a little more ease, I'll say. And then come forward. You're going to take the top of your right arch and bang it, foot, and bang it into your left arch. And then take the top of your left foot and bang it into your right arch. Okay. And then go ahead and let those legs swing around in front of you. With the feet out in front of you, you're going to go ahead and you could face long way on the mat too, just so you know, either one works. We're going to do windshield wiper from seated. So you're going to let your knees switch over to the right, up to center, and over to the left. And your knees don't have to go down as far as mine are. I am allowing my hip to lift, my pelvis to move with this pretty freely to ensure that it does, just to try to not be super rigid with my pelvis. That's what I want to say. So it's not a stabilization thing. The next time I'm over to the right, if I want to add a little bit more energy, I try to do this move without the use of leaning back and then without the use of my hands. This is the last bit here, friends. We'll do a stretch after this. And then I'm going to scoot my butt back because I want my knees to be on the mat for this next piece. The next time I'm over to the right, I try to tone my abdomen and I try to come up, and all the muscles around my pelvis, quite honestly, right? Exhale down, inhale, knees up, exhale to the left, inhale up, and maybe not, right? Exhale down. Maybe you're still doing windshield wiper with your hands behind you, and that's okay. We're almost there. This is the last set. And the next time you're over to the left, you'll come back down. You'll bring your hands back, the knees to center. If you were turned long way, turn to the short way, feet hip distance, come on down. Okay, so from here, go ahead and put your right ankle on your left knee, think thread the needle, right, or eye of the needle, and maybe bring it in, and you bring the hands behind that left thigh, maybe not, but elongate your spine today. So you remember at the beginning when we had our buttocks bones going one way or our crown of the head the other? Bring your awareness into those two places in your body and try to lengthen them away from each other, and then inhale into the space you created. Soft shoulders, easy tongue, easy jaw, easy neck. Keep the right foot where it is. Put the left foot on the ground so the hands release, of course. Arms out, walk the left foot wide and let the knees lean over to the right. And this is windshield wiper variation. Feel free to bring the right foot down. Feel free to turn the head to the left. And come on back to center. Feet hip distance, left ankle, right knee, maybe bringing it in, maybe not, maybe the foot's on a block or something. Wherever you're working from, the main piece today that I'd love for you to work for look for is the buttocks bones reaching forward to the foot side of the mat, the crown of the head reaching back to the head side of the mat. And as those two pieces move away from each other, again, inhale and expand that space between. Bring the right foot down. Walk that right foot towards the right edge of your mat, tee your arms out, and let the legs go left. And feel free to bring that left foot down. Feel free to turn the head right. Any variations here that help you find the pose you need the most right now. Right? And I like to bring my foot down so I'm not bearing the weight, especially at this point in the practice, right? Bring the knees up. Have the feet wide and lean the knees in. Bring your arms into Shavasana style. Pause for just a second, notice the body. Some of my friends, this would feel the most comfortable for the next, about minute and a half. Some of my friends, extending the legs out would be your preference. So it's going to be a short Shavasana or final resting. Right? Shavasana stands for corpse. That's the translation. But, if you're choosing a different pose, awesome. Find one where you can soften, where the body feels open and receptive and not reactive or tense. It's not bracing against the world. And just let your body have these few moments where there's nothing that you have to do. You just get to be, and in that state of being, just potentially witness sensations, the sounds, the breath. And if you have time to stay here, friends, I encourage you to stay here for, a few minutes or many minutes for that matter. But if you're on a time commitment, you're going to bend the knees, reach one arm overhead as you roll to the fetal. Push that floor away. Come back up to an upright posture. And find that longest spine that you can today with the body you have right now. No expectation, no pushing. Namaste, friends. Have a blessed day.